I want to show you how our clients are crushing their competition by focusing on the most profitable and efficient portion of their market without knocking doors or buying leads. Let me give you some background. My story, like many of yours, started with me helping my dad build homes from footers to shingles. Following high school, I went to college to study business administration. After recovering from the downturn in 2009, I went back to my roots and got into construction, which ultimately led me to roofing sales. I went after anything I could do to sell more roofs, whether it was knocking doors, buying leads, networking events, or even MRPs. With all of those lead sources, I typically close around $1 million a year. This wasn't bad money, but I was finding myself stressed most days and very little time off. This wasn't a good place to be in, considering I was newly married with one child and a new baby on the way. Like most people who have been in the roofing industry for a while, I changed companies and got stiffed on my commissions, which put me and my family in a hard place. I still remember the conversation with my wife, telling her that she wouldn't be seeing me for a while because I had no choice but to spend even longer days and evenings working hard to make sure my family had their basic necessities met. My back was against the wall and I didn't have a choice but to push through. Hard work and determination gave me the income I needed to provide for my family. But I knew there had to be a way to increase my sales without redlining myself every day. Early in the spring of 2018, while Denver was covered in snow, I decided to analyze my sales. I wanted to know how much money I was making per hour for each of my lead sources. I wanted to know where I was most profitable and efficient. To do this, I broke down the time spent on each lead source, the time it took finding the customer, inspecting the property, meeting with adjusters, re-inspections, everything. Even for the customers I didn't close. What I found was very clear. All of my lead sources, I averaged right around $50 an hour. There was one exception though. I had a longtime friend named Brian, who was an insurance agent, and he would refer me to his customers. Due to the inherent trust of being referred by their insurance agent, I closed them at a ridiculously high rate. They usually didn't even meet with other roofers, didn't ask for us to absorb their deductible, and were easier to deal with. Because Brian worked for a good carrier, the claims got paid quickly and much more profitably than some other carriers would. Even though I was doing the same tasks of meeting with customers, inspecting roofs, conducting adjuster appointments, and project managing, my time was suddenly worth $500 an hour. That number stuck out to me. I needed to figure out how I could make more of my hours worth $500. I began meeting 2 and 3 insurance agents a day for weeks and weeks. I'm embarrassed to say that most of the time I'd drop by their offices unannounced. Sometimes I brought donuts with a stack of business cards. I'd tell them that I was A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, that I was preferred with my shingle manufacturer. I'm also a really nice guy who would treat their clients right. To be honest, I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew I had to do something. My efforts to stick out backfired, and I looked like every other roofer who came into their offices. We had the same pitch and brought the same goodies. How do I know? Because last time I brought an agent donuts, they had me set them on top of the last roofer's donuts on my way out. To be transparent with you, my enthusiasm turned into frustration. And I even broke down crying in an insurance agent's office because I knew I was so close, but I couldn't quite grasp it. Being so close to providing a significantly better life for your family can drive you crazy at times. I was willing to fail 1,000 times if it meant I could tap into this lead source. Eventually, after many meetings with insurance agents, I was able to piece together what actually motivates insurance agents and how to provide those things effectively. Like snowball turned avalanche, my momentum picked up, and I was able to build referral relationships with agents all over the Denver area. In 2019, I decided to burn the boats and leave every other lead source behind. I stopped knocking on doors, buying marketing leads, going to BNI, and working managed repair programs. I was selling, building, and collecting nearly $5 million a year, and was working fewer hours than I had when I was selling $1 million a year. To me and my family, this was life-changing. I was able to go on vacation, be present with my family when I was home, and live a financially comfortable life. With my passion for work back in full swing, I was excited for what lay ahead. Until, of course, my ex-wife decided to move halfway across the country and take our son with her. For my wife and I, moving and staying together as a family was our only choice. This meant, of course, that I would need to leave my referral partners and start all over again in a new state. When my competitors caught word of my move, they contacted me to see if I could share with them the secret to my success. After all, I was leaving town, right? Long story short, I told them everything I was doing. I held nothing back, although my presentation was a little scattered. I really wasn't sure if someone else could replicate what I learned after hundreds of hours of experience, testing, failing, and retesting to finally get the results that I got. After I finished training my first student, he thanked me and was happy to have a shortcut to creating those referral relationships. He called me back 2 more times later that day to thank me again. That's when I started to realize how impactful this could be for thousands of contractors nationwide. Since then, I've put together and further developed what is now the restoration referral system. And I've helped hundreds of contractors to replicate our system and each earn millions of dollars in additional revenue. If you're a salesman, you've probably experienced many of the same things that I did. You've spent long hours in the heat, putting in work to find your next client. You've invested time into inspecting their roof, explaining the process to the homeowner, and even meeting with the adjuster, only to have the customer abandon you and your unenforceable contract for someone else who is willing to give away the farm to snake your deal. You've taken jobs across the finish line, against the resistance of the customer, an unreasonable adjuster, the choked supply chain, and unpredictable weather, only to receive a smaller paycheck than you expected. The job just wasn't as profitable as you'd hoped. You've missed date night with your sweetheart, your kids' sports, and time to actually relax and take care of yourself, just because you had to put in more hours to accomplish your minimum financial goals. Every once in a while, a storm hits or the stars align and things are good. But there's no consistency, and you can't see yourself continuing this difficult cycle for another year, much less the rest of your career. Being the owner of a company just presents another set of problems. Your salespeople require constant motivation to continue pushing forward with chasing down new business. Instead of running your business, you're interviewing, training, babysitting, firing, and repeating the whole process over and over again. You celebrate winning streaks that took months of focused work to build to, and just as quickly the momentum is lost when the low-hanging fruit is gone and half your sales team leaves. There's no silver bullet in this industry or any industry for that matter, but I can share with you what has worked for me and over 250 other contractors nationwide. The problems we've discussed happen consistently when roofing companies and their employees blindly pursue any opportunities they can get their hands on. I'm not saying that to shame anyone. It's a result of doing hard work and taking action to do your best. My whole paradigm shifted when I started analyzing all the options I had for generating business and removed all the emotion. The first step I took was figuring out where I was most successful and doubling, 10xing down on those things and eliminating everything else that had been hogging my time. There's a strong case to be made that referrals from insurance agents are far and away the most efficient and profitable way to generate roofing sales. First, it's evergreen, which means once the relationship is established, it will continue to produce so long as you keep up your end of the partnership. You're able to target only the best carriers who you know will pay you better margins with less fuss. You'll close that business at an extremely high rate, since you've been referred by someone they already know and trust. These customers will seldom shop for other options or even consider going with anyone but you. This means you're able to spend more of your time with customers who spend money with you and less time wasted on shoppers. What does this mean for your salespeople? They can crush their goals and still have time for a balanced life. They don't want to leave and work for another roofing company because you've got the greenest grass imaginable. Their big paychecks and work-life balance not only keep them around, but act like a magnet, attracting more people to join the winning team. As you can imagine, this means that you can finally start to build and maintain momentum in your business as your team grows instead of shrinking, and your employees thrive instead of just merely surviving. I'm sure that all sounds great, but you're probably wondering how we can help you achieve something you've put thought and effort into for years. In truth, you've probably stumbled across some of the principles that we've employed to make creating referral relationships like shooting fish in a barrel. We've taken the entire process step by step and near perfected it from your first conversation to close business and taken all the guesswork out of it. All you have to do is walk through the paces and continue doing good work, and it works without fail. When I did this myself, it was a complete experiment. I was taking a huge risk. Truthfully, the first clients I worked with, I wasn't sure if what I had done was going to work for them. Nearly 3 years, hundreds of contractors, and conservatively hundreds of millions of dollars in referrals later, I know it works with absolute confidence and conviction. Fortunately, you don't have to take my word for it. Like any company with a good product, we have a myriad of happy customers from companies large and small all over the country who have shared their experiences. Here's what some of them had to say.
Because I've been in the industry for about 20 years, and I was certain that there was nothing that this guy was going to be able to teach me that I didn't already know. But what was I wrong? There's a lot of things that I picked up from him that's going to take my company to a whole new level this year.
The best part about Matt's restoration referral system training was probably the applicability. We had our sales reps take it around noon, and by 4 o'clock that afternoon, only an hour or two after we finished the training, we had 2 agent meetings set up. Everyone was very excited about how applicable it was and how simple it was. For anybody worried about this program, is it going to be worth the money? Is it not going to be worth the money? I would say go for it. The sooner you implement this, the sooner you're going to get those leads rolling in. And probably the biggest draw was the fact that he teaches you how to select the insurance companies you're actually going to work with. You're no longer hoping that you get enough sales to get through the week or the month. You're selecting which agents you want to work with, which insurance companies you want to work with, and making sure that they're going to go to bat for the insured with you to make sure you get that full approval and you get the good claim.
So I got $54,000 in 2 days from referrals, and both of them, you show up to the house when you get a referral and they're laid out. They're just like, yep, when we doing this, how quick.
If you're still worried that this is something that worked great for all those other contractors but won't work for you, we want to completely remove the risk from making a mistake for you. That's why we offer a 30-day, 110% money-back guarantee. Most trainers wouldn't dare offer 100% money back, much less 110. But that's how confident we are that we can help you achieve massive ROI in an area most contractors struggle with. What else can I say? It's worked for others, it will work for you, and if it doesn't, we'll give you your money back and literally pay you for giving it a shot. When you sign up, you and your entire team will get access to our online university, full of training videos, written explanations, call scripts, and even live recordings of actual calls made to real insurance agents so you can hear real-world objections and word tracks. You'll also get unlimited live coaching with me. Recorded videos are great for getting the main concepts, but there's nuances involved in sales that a recorded video just can't fully address. That's why I make myself available to get in the trenches with you, work through the details, and help you hone your skills to become an expert. We'll teach you how to research and find the best agents and carriers in your market. As an added bonus, If you sign up today, we'll provide you with a customized list of agents in your area with all their contact info, including addresses, websites, social media profiles, and of course, phone and email that matches your specifications exactly. Now it comes down to your decision. Do you keep doing what you've been doing and throw more hours behind it? Do you stay in the cycle you've been in and hope that somehow the outcome changes? Or are you ready to take action, learn something new, and start a positive cycle of growth and efficiency in your business? What we're offering here isn't a silver bullet. You'll need to put in effort to learn it, and some more to actually do it. But you'll save yourself the time you're wasting now chasing customers who don't do business with you and working insurance claims with carriers who are awful, unfair, and pay terrible margins. Make the decision now, get full access immediately, and you'll have 30 days to review the information. Try it out in the field and know you've made the right choice without risk. We'll see you on the inside. If you're interested but just need some questions answered before moving forward, fill out the schedule form below and we'll walk through any questions you have. If you're interested but not the decision maker, click the Send to Decision Maker button below and complete the form.